There's not going to be very many teams to beat them.
Nobody.
And today they face this Howard team that's won the MEAC title 2 of the last 3 years. And Howard knocked off Niagara by 10 yesterday, coming from 13 points down to do it. They played right here at Cameron, so the Bison won on this floor yesterday. The Blue Devils won comfortably on Friday. And Bryce Harris, the Bison star, misses his first shot. And Cam Boozer gets bumped by Os Okoji. And the first whistle of the game, the foul on the Howard senior.
Howard is a team that plays very, very hard. They emphasize driving the ball to the basket. They want to play at a fast pace, but if they're going to have any chance at all in this game today, Harris, their inside guy, he's their star player. He's got to score effectively.
And that's not easy to do against the size that Duke brings to the lineup.
Cam Boozer's numbers dipped. He's now averaging 20 points and 9.5 rebounds per game, but he still leads the Blue Devils in scoring, rebounding, assists, and blocks. And after a few steals on Friday, he's now second on the team in that category too. 1 for 2 at the line for Boozer. Gillis, the talented point guard, transferred from Lehigh. He gets them in their stuff. But Harris, number 34, and Cotton, number 4, are their top scorers. And this is Cotton, who drives and kicks. Gillis for 3. And Boozer rips down the rebound.
When you get an open 3 in a game like this, if you're going to be competitive, you've got to make a very high percentage.
Looking high, and it's Ngongba who throws it down. Coming off a career-high 17 here on Friday night.
He played great Friday. He's probably one of the most improved players in the league, maybe in the country this year.
And he's getting an opportunity. He scored 17 points on Friday, going 3 for 3 from the field.
And he was perfect from the foul line until somebody jinxed him with the call.
They will never let that play-by-play guy back in here.
No.
Out of bounds, Duke ball. For Duke against Kenny Blakeney, who was part of the Duke championship teams in both 91 and 92. He redshirted in 91, played as a redshirt freshman on that great Christian Leitner team in 1992.
Duke, of course, in their man-to-man, and they have a size advantage at each position. They'll do an awful lot of switching.
And Dan, that size advantage will take place in most ACC games too. It's not just against the Howards of the world.
But it won't be quite as definitive.
Well, the other thing is they're just a good man-to-man defensive players. They keep guys in front of them, and when they switch so aggressively, you can't get anything.
It's a foul called on Cotton. Roger Ayers, Clarence Armstrong, and Adam Floor, your officials this afternoon. You see Kenny Blakeney. It was an encouraging comeback win for the Bison yesterday.
They scored 51 points in the second half to do it.
Ngongba looking for Boozer, who pushed it off the glass and home.
You know what's amazing is the center and power forward have more assists than any of the guards. You know, Boozer's like 4.4, 2.6 for Ngongba. I mean,
what does that say to you about this team?
They all pass, and their big guys really pass and look for each other. They're not looking first to score, which is what, as a coach, I mean, there's nothing you would want more than that.
Tough shot. Cotton goes, and the Bison on the board. Foster, pass to nobody.
Rare turnover for Duke.
This Bison team, they really get after you defensively.
In terms of pace and points, they play quickly. Taking their time here. Cotton fakes it, gives it up. Gillis still has time. Step back over Ngongba, short.
Step back over Ngongba if you're 5'11" is a bad idea.
Isaiah Evans to the basket.
That's something he's got to do, and he has done this year. He's not just a standstill shooter. He's passing, he's making plays, and that helps him and it helps Duke.
Cotton from the Coach K court logo comes up short.
Cotton is a pretty good three-point shooter, but I don't know that that's his normal range.
Boozer misfires from deep. First three-point attempt for the Blue Devils after they took 33 of them here on Friday. It's a nice pass from Harris, and Okogie lays it in.
That's the first time that Harris has been able to handle the ball against somebody other than Boozer. Harris is 6'4". Boozer at 6'9" has been guarding him. That time he was matched up against Evans, and he was able to get close enough to make a nice pass.
Foster bullies Gillis and gets two.
I think that's the first layup I've seen Duke give up. Maybe they gave up one in the game against Niagara, but they don't give up much easy around the basket.
Using the screen from the Lithuanian Kazakevicius. This is a kick ball, and it'll be Howard ball when we come back. Sad news. The difference today is they're attacking inside. Only one three-pointer attempted so far. It's their only miss.
I think the Bison have done a great job getting out on three-point shooters, but again, that's the versatility to Duke. If you're going to take something away, you're going to give something else up.
Cotton can't connect. Rebound pulled down by Evans.
Again, my advice for Cotton would be to get closer.
Caden Boozer in the game. This is Evans straight away for three.
I think he heard you about the threes and said, I'm going to make one right here. When he shoots like that, he's really a special player.
When they drive the ball up the court, the defense goes back into the lane. He trails along. You just can't leave him alone out there with that much time.
Malik Brown, Nicholas Hamenya also in the game for Duke. Three ball won't go for Bison. And a foul's going to be on the Blue Devils here in the rebound action going against Caden Boozer. John Shire, 51-3 here at home since he took over for Coach K. Is that good?
Well, it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. He's done an amazing job. I mean, taking over for a guy like Coach Krzyzewski is, you know, obviously the best coach in modern basketball. To take over and do just about as well in the regular season, and now, of course, they're looking for championships, and I think they have that opportunity this year.
Jim, what was your first reaction when you heard Coach K was stepping down and it would be John Shire replacing him?
Well, I knew from talking to Coach K, it was about John's relationships with the players on the team and his recruiting relationship. And that's really the key, as we all know, recruiting.
Hamenya, nice pass. Malik Brown throws it down. He's now 17 of 18 on twos this season.
And these guys don't miss a beat when they come in off the bench because they want to start. They think they're as good as the starters, and that mentality is just going to drive them.
Harris, great look, knocks it down.
Boy, Duke does not give up many good looks. They got a really nice ball screen and away from the ball there.
And Caden Boozer's pass deflected. His brother saves him, and Malik has another easy deuce.
His brother saved him a turnover there.
Sure did. That's what brothers are for.
Absolutely.
Again, I mean, they find one another. The big guys find one another so well.
Caden couldn't control it, and yet they're going to say it's off Howard, and it's Duke ball.
Boozer's really, I mean, he pitches that ball ahead so effectively, and that's what leads to the fast break. And there's Malik Brown. He just runs to the spot.
They almost got the same bucket against the lob.
Deflected to the corner. Hey, Jim, when you were talking to Malik the other day, did he tell you that the bench guys are as good as the starters?
No, he would never say that. He's the nicest kid in the world. He would never say something like that. But he's very confident in himself, as he should be. And he does all the little things. He doesn't even have to score to help this Duke team.
Off the catch, it's Harris for three. Aaron Harris.
He knows what his job is. He's shooting when he comes into the game.
And he's shooting threes when he comes into the game.
Only threes.
Season high 15, made 5 threes against Army.
He has attempted 2 twos on the year, but that was probably a mistake.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Had to be.
Going to be a reach and foul on Brown.
And Duke can get you open in a lot of different ways. Harris sets a screen at the foul line and then just runs to the spot.
And Malik Brown sets the next screen to get him open, and that's what Malik does.
Jim, Malik Brown has been injured while he's been at Duke, but I really think if he can be healthy, this Duke team has a chance to reach an elite level.
I think he's key for them because he backs up the 5 or the 4. He does the little things defensively. He's just always got his hands on the ball. He's like in the top 3 or 4 in the league in steals, playing 20 minutes a game.
Another deep shot, another rebound for Cam Boozer, his 3rd. Brother Caden fouled. Could have been a tie-up, but Clarence Armstrong called the reach on Brown.
And another outlet pass to half court. This guy's not looking to hang on to the ball when he gets it off the rebound. He gets it, he's looking ahead, and that's just a great two-handed chest back.
That's why he's up there and leading the team in assists at 6'9" power forward. That doesn't happen very often.
Harris guarded tightly in the corner on the catch by Jeremiah Johnson. Boozer fakes it, finds pass.
This Duke team passes it as well as any Duke team that I've seen in a long time, or any team. They look for each other.
And they really move without the ball.
All 5 guys.
Yeah, there was very little to complain about from the John Shire perspective after Friday's win. Another solid start today, 10 for 11. Unfriendly bounce for Howard there. Blue Devils by 15 and looking for more. Malik's gonna take it.
He can make that shot. He doesn't take many, but he can shoot out there.
He's 1 for 9 on the year now.
Like I said, he can make that.
Shire has said, though, he likes when his big guys take that shot. He was happy when Ngongba took it and made his first 3 ever the other night.
He was happier that Ngongba made it than he took it.
Sarr couldn't connect. Brown got his hand on the rebound, but it finds Howard. Travell Bryson knocks down the 3.
Now, Bryson is a guy who they were really hoping, the Bison that is, were really hoping who could come in and make threes. He's a JC guy, and that's only his 2nd 3 of the year.
Reach and foul goes against Jeremiah.
Doing that for football here, so they're probably really excited about it.
That sounds like a dig, Jim.
A small dig, small dig.
Sarr rejected from behind, and Cotton was out of bounds with his heels on the baseline.
Wow, ACC football has been so ridiculous this year, and we showed you there's a possibility for a 6-way tie.
Yeah, Virginia and SMU, if they win next week, they're in Charlotte in the championship game. Hamenya up and in for 2. But yeah, next weekend is going to be fun. Plenty of exciting Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday and Saturday action to settle this stuff once and for all.
Duke does such a great job cutting off the lane and then reacting back out to the shooters.
Yeah, they're locked in defensively here again. Hamenya tries to stay in front of Gillis. Did a decent job, but Gillis scores anyway.
Well, Gillis really does a nice job driving the ball to the basket, but I'm telling you, if that's the kind of shot you're going to get, it's going to be a long day.
Sarr takes it. Not this time either, but Ngongba has the rebound, kicks it for Boozer. Sarr attacks the basket.
They just move the ball so well, and when they get an offensive rebound, they get it out. They don't force it. The guy gets an easy one.
Would you use the word athletic to describe Dame Sarr?
That's one of them. Long.
He's very aggressive on both offense and defense. He moves so well.
Yeah, very smooth. Tough jumper, won't go. Sarr the rebound, and he'll lead the break.
And he can jump a little bit too.
His parents were born in Senegal. He grew up in Italy. Amenya, beautiful pass. Beautiful ball movement every possession.
That's why even in a big blowout game, Duke's fun to watch because they just keep playing and executing both ends of the court. Fun to watch this team play basketball.
Ngongba continues to shoot 100% from the field in the Brotherhood run. Harris too strong. Rebound deflected, controlled by Sarr. Boozer on the bench right now. Here's Amenya. Tried to wrap the pass around, and it will be Duke ball. Boozer coming back in.
Well, Amenya made some.
They actually called it Howard ball, so the Bison have it. They're 3-3. They'll be back here in Durham in December to play North Carolina A&T. Certainly have high expectations for what they can do in their league, largely because of Bryce Harris. This possession ends in a turnover. Okogie gives it away. Boozer kicks it. Foster missed it right. Malik Brown had a hand on it, and they're going to say off Brown's knee. Howard ball. 7:53 to play, first half. He said, I wanted to win championships. He said Brian Davis hosted him on his recruiting visit. And this is before they won championships. But Davis said, we're really close to winning one. I want you to be here. And Blakeney was here for 2 of them.
It's hard to imagine there was a time before they won championships.
Great tradition, but it's hard to win a national title.
Oh, it's hard to win a game in that tournament, much less win the championship.
Amen.
Up and under move, Caleb Foster off the glass.
When we first got in a couple times when I started coaching, I was just happy to get in. And then you win a game, then, well, okay, let's win a couple. But it's never easy.
How does winning the national title change your life as a coach, Jim Boeheim?
It doesn't change it, but it makes it a lot better.
Cam Boozer making things better for the Blue Devils.
I wondered if Boozer's going to do something today. He kind of plays it. They don't need him. I don't think he really feels, well, I got to go out and get 20. But when he need him, he'll get 20.
The lead is 21. Shot clock winding down. Bryson, tough turnaround, buries it from the elbow.
Every shot they've made has been hard, too. I mean, they've got 17 points, but they've had to work really, really hard to get 17 points.
Cam Boozer flips it high. Malik gives it back. Triple team, doesn't matter.
Too much size, too much strength down there. And again, a little interior passing. First one, then back to him. Most big guys don't do that.
8 points for Cam Boozer. 3 of 4 from the floor. Cotton zips it for Bryson. There's Gillis with 9. Harris guarded by Sarr, who's just a feisty guy to have to tangle with, and there's a reach-in foul on Brown, and I believe that's Malik's second. Tomorrow night, more ACC men's basketball. If you haven't seen the talented Louisville freshman Mikel Brown Jr., you got to check out 6th-ranked Louisville as they host Eastern Michigan at 7 o'clock right here on the ACC network and on the all-new ESPN app.
Louisville really looks good early in the year, very good. Well, Nick Kelsey's done a great job there.
Yeah, they sure have, and they took all those threes last year when they couldn't make any, and now they got guys who can make them.
They made enough.
They did make enough, but they were much more quantity over quality last year.
What have been your impressions of Mikel Brown as a freshman point guard?
I haven't really seen enough of him yet. His numbers are good, obviously. But, you know, he's got the talent. One of the better freshmen in the country. And it's an unbelievable year in college basketball with all the freshmen coming in, all highly rated and NBA rated. And then all the guys coming back, and then all the foreign players that have infiltrated our country.
That's right. Like Dame Sarr, who just picked up the foul.
I guess all these foreign players had their visas and everything okay. I guess they're okay.
I hope
It's a nice pass. Bryson missed it. Point blank range. Here's Sarr the other way. No whistle. Gillis held his ground. Gets it ahead. Johnson for three. And Boozer unable to control the rebound, but it finds Hemenya.
It's not important, but I just seen 4 fouls that weren't called, so I don't
Dame Sarr from the corner.
I think sometimes these games, sometimes they forget to blow their whistle once in a while.
Well, and if anybody would pick that up, Jim, it would be you.
Yeah, I love to watch those guys. I just can't get enough of it. And these are good officials, too.
I won't ask you about your least favorite officials, at least until the second half.
Well, I don't have enough time. I really don't. You can ask me about my favorite ones. That would be very quick.
Clarence Armstrong, a veteran ACC ref, working with Roger Ayers and Adam Floor here today.
Roger works every game, every TV game in the country, just about.
Feels like he works 3 games a day sometimes.
I think he would if he could. But he's probably 6 days a week.
At least. I know you're not big into social media, but there is a Twitter account that tracks Rogers every game and probably his every movement and every meal. Harris to the basket, 2 more.
Well, now there's a surprise. It's a 2.
I have not seen him do that.
Boy, they get out and go.
Really great in transition. Well, there's not that much right now that they're not pretty darn good at.
Harris over Hemenya for 2.
Harris is a really nice player. He's the only guy on this team that really can step up and make plays against Duke.
Kenny Blakeney called Bryce Harris the most influential recruit in the...
So you don't have a guy out there that can't make a play. They all can.
Jim, during the break, you were talking about the internal competition among the Duke teammates.
Well, Coach Shire was talking before the first game the other day, talking about how these guys want to play more off the bench. Then they just got to go in and play well, and that's what they're doing.
He said he thought about asking each guy how many minutes they'd like to play and then adding them all up, and he'd realize, I don't have 500 minutes in a game to give up. He's got 200.
You want all your players to think they should start, every one of them. That's the way they're going to be productive.
Howard, nice pass, better block. Ngongba and Hemenya were both right there. In transition, Hemenya fakes the 3. No look to Ngongba, deflected and stolen.
Maybe he should have looked. That was a little bit too fancy. He had a guy open on the wing.
Harris fakes it, takes it, air ball. Caden to Harris. And the other Harris grabs the board. Here's Bryce with a gallop to his step, and he's rejected. Caden Boozer got a lot of ball. Foul is called. And free throws coming for Bryce Harris.
You get that much contact, they're going to call a foul. It was close, but they're going to call that. But again, Harris is a warrior. He got the ball, got it out, and he's just going to. He made up his mind before half court. I'm going to take this. I'm going to go all the way with this thing. It's a very competitive kid.
Tomorrow night's ACC Network featured women's basketball matchup. Hannah Hidalgo, the nation's leading scorer, and the number 24 Notre Dame Fighting Irish hosting Central Michigan at 9 o'clock Eastern. Also available on the all-new ESPN app. Heck of a win for Niall Ivy's Irish the other night, with Hidalgo hitting the buzzer beater to beat USC.
And how about the game before that? 16 steals. That's Dan Bonner's career.
That's
16 steals.
That's a game.
Did you get that many, Dan?
No, if somebody in a game, they got 18 for me. Actually, in one game that I played, I had 9 turnovers, and they were all steals by the other team.
Do you have tape of this? Is there, or do you burn the footage? Or, I'd love to see it.
Well, now, I played so long ago, we didn't have tape. We had film.
Film, and that's gone.
And that's gone.
That's
so
aged out.
You need special equipment, and nobody has it anymore.
Well, one of our guys, our film guys, digitized it all. Is that the word?
Yes, that's the word. Very good. Very good.
For me. And put it on a thumb drive.
That's another good word.
I have that, but I don't have any place to put the thumb drive. So I've got some games, but I'm not really that eager to see them anyway. But I have them.
Jim, don't take this the wrong way, but I can show you the correct dongle to use to get your thumb drive to work.
Don't pay any attention to him.
That's okay. That's all right. I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit. I want to do it when I'm alone so that I can review the tape.
Couple free throws for Boozer. Fans reminding Harris about his previous air ball, as they're kind to do. Gillis, not an air ball, but not a make either. Rebound for Ngongba. Harris looking for another 2. He'll get free throws. The foul is on the Serbian, Stefan Isailovic.
Well, Isailovic didn't play at all against Niagara, and he just gets caught out in the corner. I mean, Harris has shown he can shoot the 3 so well. Goes out there, you guard him, and then he goes right by you.
First game for Stefan since November 6th against University of District Columbia. Not a D1 program. Harris hit the line, the sophomore from Herndon, Virginia, where he was the Gatorade Virginia Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago.
I think he heard that we were talking about him just being a 3-point shooter, and he's going to show us today he's going to the basket. So that's what he's doing.
We'll see.
Well, my guess would be that he pays no attention to anything we say.
Which is probably the right thing to do.
It'd be a heck of a story if one of these guys had an earpiece and they were listening to the broadcast while playing.
I guarantee you, someone they know is listening and will report back to them.
Yeah. Rare missed free throw for Harris. Duke has cooled off. They started 10 for 11. They're now shooting just 69%.
So they've cooled off and they're shooting 69%.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, good to know.
6 of their 8 misses are 3s. They've only missed 2 2s. If you're keeping track, as we tick under 2 minutes in the first half. Harris has it stolen. Here's another allowed 2, unless Bryce Harris has anything to say about it. It's a foul on Bryce after Darren, his namesake, no relation, picked his pocket.
Well, Bryce Harris is trying to maneuver himself to the basket.
You know, obviously you're not going to get it, but he tried, and that's what you wanted to do.
Well, the most important thing there is those 2 managers for Duke who come out every time the ball goes on the end of the court to wipe up. I don't know what they're wiping up all the time, but that's got to be the cleanest lane in the history of the world.
And they showed some get up and go to get out of the way.
Went as fast as they could go to get out of the way.
Hey, one thing about Bryce Harris I want to mention, we saw it yesterday. He was on the bench in foul trouble, and his teammates helped them make a run to take the lead.
Competitor on the basketball court.
Call on the floor, I believe, was Howard Ball. So I believe John Shire taking his use it or lose it timeout and challenging this to get the timeout, and gets to keep the timeout if they get the ball. Seen a couple coaches around the country do this late in the first half.
You know, it's interesting with the new challenge rule. If you're right, you get one more, but if you're right twice, you don't get any more. And, you know, I mean, it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me that you're right both times, and yet you don't have another challenge left. I think they should have had something, at least in the last 6, 7, 8 minutes of the game. You should get one more back if you were right both times. But it makes you worry about using your challenge. I mean, if you're going to need it late, do you use it early? That's the whole key.
And the other thing is, it makes you very conscious of using your timeouts, because if you don't have a timeout, you can't challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
It's hard to see whose hand that is. You can see it through the backboard.
When you look at some of these plays, you really can't. It's a guessing game.
Absolutely it is.
And then you just give it the way it was called.
But I think the purpose of this challenge rule, more than anything else, is to move the game along, because in the past couple of years, every time the ball went out of bounds, everybody's circling their fingers. Let's review it. And so that's why there's only one challenge.
It'll be Duke ball.
That's the thing that always got me, is when they do it in 30 seconds to go and the other team doesn't have any timeouts and they look for it. Now the other team gets a timeout to talk about what they're going to run.
And that's another thing they were trying to prevent. So now the challenge was successful, which means Duke, you have to call a timeout to challenge.
Yep.
But if the challenge is successful, then you get that timeout back. And so John Shire gets the timeout back and still has one challenge left.
But if he doesn't use that timeout by halftime, he loses it again.
But that's always been the case.
Right.
Yeah, they use it or lose the timeout in the first half. So
when it's 46-18, he's not concerned overly about
Yes.
using his timeout.
Boozer, the first in the double figures, and here's another steal for Darren Harris, and this time he finishes.
He's being productive at both ends of the court tonight.
Duke racking up the steals again. Cameron Boozer, hello. Timeout, Bison.
Just keep coming at me.
4 days from now, Duke will be in Chicago to take on John Calipari's Arkansas Razorbacks. Thursday night, pass off the back of the backboard. It's a turnover.
You know, Duke's got a stretch of games, 5 out of 6, that are all top 20, 25 teams. So that'll be better for them. That'll get them to where they got a better idea where they are exactly.
Harris doesn't get the bounce.
well, he's spending too much time shooting twos. He's lost his touch from three.
Nobody stopped the ball, but Howard could not make Duke pay, and Dame Sarr grabs his 5th rebound of the half. About a 4-second difference between the game and shot clock, and now John Shire will take this advantage to be able to draw up a play. 27.5, an awesome experience.
Well, they've improved a lot in the last 15 years, as I'm sure your calls have improved as well.
You don't want to hear what it sounded like 15 years ago, Jim. Trust me.
We want the tape.
Or the thumb drive.
Or the thumb drive.
Foster with 10 to shoot, 14 and a half. Duke leading by 32. And free throws coming for Caleb. Fouls on Bryson. 9.5 ticks remaining.
That's really tough to guard. You put everybody down on the baseline, and then Foster's so good with the ball. You bring Boozer up to the screen. Everybody runs to the corners. Oh.
Well, you can't help, or they're going to hit somebody for an open three, and it's really hard to stop these guys one-on-one. It's going to take a really well-balanced, good, solid defensive team to bother this Duke team.
Right, and it's no matter how well the other team plays defense, they're going to have to put points on the board. This is not a Duke team you're going to beat 50 to 46.
No.
The reach and foul, and Duke did not have one to give. So this is going to be a 1-and-1 opportunity here with 7.2 to go.
And that's something Coach Shire can show his team and say, okay, we want pressure here, but we don't want to put him on the foul line here. especially if it's a 2-point game.
Very busy day on the Duke University campus. There was the national championship game in field hockey earlier today. Northwestern won in double overtime, and Duke women's soccer also had their second round tournament match. They're moving on, a 2-0 win over Kansas. Duke men's basketball unable to hit that last shot. Evans comes up empty, but the Blue Devils still close the half on an 11-0 run over the final two.
This is a heck of a team, and we've seen them twice now, and of course the opposition hasn't been what they're going to face later on, but this is what they're supposed to do against a team like this, and boy, they've done it twice in a row.
Yep.
And not all teams do what they're supposed to do in games like this.
It's such a mismatch in the low post that when they try to go down there, Howard has no chance except to push the guy, you know, to push the guy out of bounds. It's not a fair fight down there.
Well, Harris actually, and he just picked up his third foul. And I mean, he's a very aggressive guy at 220 pounds. He's as much bulk as they have in there, but he's got 3 fouls now.
And he only had 1 2 seconds ago. Picked up 2 fouls in the last second.
He's going to get a fourth here.
The clairvoyant Dan Bonner was correct.
They could have let that one go, but no, they didn't.
Well, if you have 3 fouls, you have to let that one go.
Free throw, gentlemen. Just want to make sure it's on the record.
I fouled out one time with 16:44 left and a half when I didn't have any fouls at halftime.
Against who?
It was a freshman game against Virginia Tech.
Well, the good news, nobody was there to watch it, so that's
true.
That's a good thing.
Alex Cotton, who's in the top 30 in the country in threes per game, makes his first of the day.
Boozer tried to force that one, but Foster bailed him out. Again, good hustle after the loose ball.
Ngongba!
Just no answer for that. There's nothing you can do.
Danas Kazakevicius, freshman from Vilnius, Lithuania. The big Domantas Sabonis fan growing up. He's their tallest guy at 6'10", but he couldn't score around Ngongba. Foster into the lane, has the trailing Ngongba. Is he going to try it? He will. Made his first career 3 here on Friday night after he had previously been 0 for 8. Now he's 1 for 10.
Coach Bonner doesn't.
Ngongba takes that shot. He's seen him make it in practice. He wants to have that be a part of his arsenal.
I think he likes that shot a little better from 2.5 feet from the basket.
I think it's greedy with all the guys you have to want Ngongba to have that in his arsenal.
That's their last option.
Shire said after the game Friday, quote, "I've been begging him to shoot threes." He also said we got to get him more touches with how efficient he has been.
Yeah, I think the second part is good. The first part, I think sometimes coaches say things, you know, just kind of like just out of the blue.
What do you know about that?
When it's tie game and they're playing, you know, Arkansas or Michigan State, I guarantee you, he is not shooting a three.
He might block a shot, though.
He can do that.
Well, it's just so hard to get the ball all the way to the rim against these guys.
They reset the shot clock to 20. Now they're putting it back to 14. Rightly so. Howard ball after the Ngongba block. Reach and foul on Evans.
Well, Holland did a really nice job fighting for position inside, and you know, sometimes you just have to be more physical in there. He just beat Evans to the spot.
And now they put the shot clock at 20 after the foul.
They're having trouble getting the ball in bounds here.
Finally, it's Ed Holland III that gets free. Cam Gillis, the former Lehigh Mountain Hawk, fouled by Foster.
Well, what they've tried to do here early in the second half is they've given up trying to set screens. They've spread the court, They're trying to just drive one-on-one, and they've had some success drawing fouls.
You can't, the screens don't help because they're switching on everything, and you just end up with nothing after the screen. You got to try to dribble, but it's hard to dribble and get by Duke.
Each team has been called for 3 fouls apiece in the first 2:10 of the second half. And there's the 7th foul of the half, and it's on number 7, Dame Sarr, his second.
Yeah. This is, sometimes officials do that. They just decided, I think they have a meeting at halftime. Say, well, we didn't call enough. Let's just go out and call some more.
Jim, in retirement, have they considered making you an officiating consultant?
Not even for 1 second. It's a hard game to referee, I will tell you that.
If they asked you for your advice,
look
as
at
we
that
see another great
pass.
pass from Boozer. Sarr missed the layup and bailed out by the whistle. It was a foul on Gillis. What would your general advice be to Joe, college basketball referee in 2025?
It's a hard, first of all, it's a hard game to referee. I'm not going to sit up here and criticize it. It's a hard thing. The 5-6 games all over the country. You know, you wouldn't let players play 5 games a night in 6 different cities, 5 different cities. So that's one of the problems. But it's just a really hard game to referee, and these guys are good. They do the best job they possibly can. But it's, when you look at the replay, it's hard to tell what it was when you're looking at the replay. So they're doing it live, real time. So it's just a very difficult game to referee. And these guys, I think our league is one of the best in the country in terms of officiating, how they call the game and how consistent they are. Referees don't win or lose games for you. They can make calls that hurt you during the course of the game, but unless they're making that one call at the end, which usually doesn't happen.
Of course, if I remember correctly, there was an inside of your suit jacket that suggests you might have felt otherwise on one particular occasion.
Well, that was the
building.
one time. That was the one time, I think. In retrospect, I was right.
Of course you were.
You're still waiting for the apology, I'm sure.
I don't think that's coming.
Clock winding down. Cotton over Boozer, short. And that's off Malik Brown. Howard ball.
The other thing that Duke does when you play them here, they wear you down. They just wear you down with the constant pressure at both ends of the court. And, you know, it's hard to play 40 minutes with that pressure on you all the time.
Well, what we've seen from them here early is they have a very clear 9-man rotation, and everybody who comes in the game really gets after you.
But they all think they should start, and they're all going to play as hard as they can play every play.
Cotton doesn't get the bounce. Dan, of the 3 of us, you are the only one that has played in this building.
Well, you have to use your verbs correctly. I was in this building while my teammates were playing.
You played in this building a couple times.
I can tell you we didn't have chairs. We had to sit on those doggone bleacher benches, and they're very uncomfortable.
That's why the crazies all stand all game long.
Malik Brown does an unbelievable job of reaching. He got caught that time, but he does a great job. You know, we used to teach players, don't reach, don't reach. That was a big thing in coaching. Just play with your legs. But some guys can reach and get away with it, and they get a lot of deflections and a lot of steals, and that's what Malik Brown does.
Called for his 3rd foul there, though. Plenty of whistles in this 4-minute segment. 5 fouls against Duke, 4 against Howard. Ahead to Evans, to the basket. Isaiah Evans. He's not just a shooter, folks. There's Donis Kazakevicius.
He's showing his game today.
Flipped up to Boozer. Second chance, and he's fouled. There's the 10th foul of the half in about 4.5 minutes.
Even get on it, let alone for $1 million. I don't think I could get on it.
Dan, $2 million for charity. Would you try it?
I would try it. I wouldn't get anybody any money for charity.
Cameron Boozer wins that matchup.
When he wants to score, he can just go down there and score. He just doesn't do that much in these games.
He's also got 25 pounds on Kazakevicius, and so.
Is that all?
Yeah, that guy's got no. Well, they list him at 225. He doesn't look like 225 to me.
No.
Arkansas on Thursday, and then a week from Tuesday against the Florida Gators right here at Cameron.
That'll be a great test because Florida's big guys. It won't be as easy for these big guys to get inside and score.
And they're all top 25 teams except Lipscomb, and Lipscomb was in the NCAA tournament last year.
And they are the Bison.
We won't ever see it again.
Good.
But I love Cameron Boozer's just got a great attitude about the game of basketball. He just takes what's there. If he doesn't score, he just passes it. I mean, he's really a good player, special player.
Caden Boozer with a pestering defense now. Shot clock at 9 for Gillis. Kazakevicius. Rebounded by Boozer.
They literally almost can't get a shot sometimes.
Ooh, hard screen from Malik Brown. Roger Ayers right there said it's clean. This is Hamenya for 3.
He got his confidence in the first game with Iowa. Now he's going to make that shot. He ends up getting the 3 on the other side of the court because this team moves the ball that way.
5th 3 of the game from 5 different guys. Hamenya continues to see that 3-point percentage rise. Right now, Cameron Boozer is the only starter on the floor for the Blue Devils. Brown had the rebound poked away, and then he helps to misdirect the shot. And Boozer's got his 4th double-double of the season, and Hamenya lost the basketball. Bryce Harris back in the game with 4 fouls, right at Cameron Boozer. Quadruple teamed, and Bryce Harris scores.
Actually, it was right at Caden Boozer, but Caden Boozer is taller than Harris.
He's determined.
This is Cameron, and that's a 3.
And he's determined as well, and he's very smooth in his determination.
22-10 for Cameron. We started the broadcast saying he had season lows in rebounds and points, 14-5 on Friday, but he's gotten his numbers, and he's also set up his teammates. He's got 4 assists too. Too strong on the drive. Bryson, after the kick out, buries the 3.
So far in this game, he has made twice as many threes as he did all year coming in.
It's so hard for them just to get a shot, let alone make one.
Caden Boozer draws the foul. There's a loud conversation going on about Duke's point guard situation. And look, they're playing great basketball. They're, depending on what metric you look at, number 1, number 2, number 3 in the country. And there's a conversation being had about, is the Blue Devil offense better with Foster or Caden Boozer running the show?
Well, conversation is not going on among the Duke coaches. So,
no, but there are a lot of fans out there having that conversation.
Well, it's a good thing we don't let fans coach the team.
Yeah. Fans can have that conversation. They can make their comments, but they're not worried about that. They've got 2 competent guards, and they're both playing well. And they don't have to do a lot because a lot of their stuff goes through their forwards. That's where it goes, through Boozer. Even with Bonga, it goes through him. And then you have Isaiah Evans, too. So they don't need a point guard to make a lot of plays.
Hey, Jim, I'm good for a couple dumb questions every broadcast.
I like that.
Well, my question for you, Evan, and for the fans is how much better do you want these guys to be?
Well, that's
I mean,
a fair
offense,
question.
our offense isn't bad. I mean, good heavens.
My question for Jim is, did a fan ever make a basketball suggestion to you that you hadn't thought of before and you thought after the suggestion, oh, that's pretty smart?
Not once in 47 years, all right? Not once. And I mean, not that I listen to them, but they get back to me sometimes.
Hemenya for two.
Listen, Marv Levy said it best. When you start listening to the fans, you will be sitting with them. He's a pretty smart guy. Ivy Leaguer.
Rebound Hemenya after the miss from Powell. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Howard ball when we come back. Bison trail by 45.
He makes a play when he has to. And, obviously here they can't contain him inside. So it's a little bit too much for Howard.
These are the numbers entering the day, and those numbers will mostly, if not all, rise at the end of the day. He's got 22 points in 22 minutes. Day might be done. We'll see with 11:30 to go.
Well, and that would be extremely impressive for a freshman in most cases, but it's sort of, very ordinary here since Cooper Flagg led the team in all those numbers last year as a freshman.
And again, it's unusual. Cooper Flagg can play the point or second, 2-guard, 3. I mean, Cam Boozer's mainly a power forward. That's what he is. And it's unusual for a guy like that to lead your team in assists or steals. That's very unusual.
There have been a lot of great freshmen, obviously, to play here at Duke. Zion Williamson was a sensation in so many ways. I saw a comment that compared now, sadly, the late Rodney Rogers. It said he was Zion before Zion. I want to get your thoughts on Rodney, Jim.
He was a lot like that. Powerful, left-handed, go to the basket, could shoot. I mean, Rodney Rogers was a great player and did a lot at Wake Forest and was able to win championships, which is hard to do. He was a great, great player.
The Durham Bull, as he was known. Dan, you remember broadcasting Wake Forest games with Rodney?
Well, I sure do. It was one thing. You're down at Wake Forest, and Wake was struggling, and Dave Odom came in, and that was the Rodney Rogers, the guy that got Dave Odom and Wake Forest going. And I've talked to Dave about Rodney on a number of occasions, and and Rodney Rogers was a great player. He had that horrible accident, but he never stopped being a very nice human being.
Yeah. Randolph Childress said he would not have come to Wake Forest if Rodney hadn't been there first. And Randolph, our colleague and friend, also said that to this day, he truly believes Rodney's the greatest athlete ever to walk on the Wake Forest campus, which is a pretty loud statement.
He was pretty athletic and good.
I'd trust Randolph on that.
Yeah. And our friend Dave Odom, I believe he's out in Hawaii right now getting ready for the Maui Invitational, which NC State will lead off tomorrow. 2 more for Cameron Boozer. His day is not done. Now got 24 points.
Cameron can score as many as Duke wants him to. If they give him the ball every time, he'll score every time.
He had 35 against Indiana State 9 days ago.
You might say, why is Boozer still in the game? Well, you got 10 minutes left in the game, and what Duke is doing here is they're working on things. They're working on different combinations, and if you're going to work on combinations, Boozer is going to be in the middle of it, isn't he?
Yeah, you have to play guys in games like this because the next game he might play 38 minutes, so you don't want him to play 20 here and then come back and have to play 38 minutes after just playing 20. You want to get him used to the pace and playing the minutes.
John Shire was asked about the different lineups and mixing and matching different pieces to test things out after the game Friday. He said you try to coach for the moment and try to win, but you also coach for who he can be.
Yeah, there's no question. You're using this game to help see what you can do. Different ideas, different combinations, but that's what you're doing. This is a good game for that. It's obviously not a game that you're going to be challenged.
Another assist for Caden, another bucket for Ngongba.
But it's also a lot better than a day of practice because you've got somebody new to look at. So players are going to enjoy this game. The coaches are going to enjoy this game. They know what's ahead. Very tough non-conference schedule and a really much improved ACC this year.
I don't know if I've ever looked at a box score this late in the game where every player on the team that's taken a shot except one is shooting better than 50%. There's 3 for B.J. Powell, but for Duke, Dame Sarr is 2 for 6. He's below 50, but you got Boozer 9 for 11, Ngongba 7 of 8, Foster's 2 for 3, Jimenez 3 for 3, Harris 3 for 5, Brown 3 for 4. I mean, everybody is shooting the cover off the ball. Right on cue, Isaiah Evans misses a shot. And so does Caleb Foster. Ngongba's not missing that one, though. He's now 8 for 9.
It's hard to miss when you're a foot from the basket, Evan. I just wanted you to know that off the top of my head. I just thought you might not see that as you are about 5'10".
Yeah, being under 6 feet, I could show you how to miss from that close. I'm going to get Evans for the foul with 8:14 to play. Gives us a chance to remind you about ACC men's basketball tomorrow night on the network. 6th-ranked Louisville taking on Eastern Michigan. Pat Kelsey's squad led by Michael Brown Jr. and Ryan Conwell. That game available right here on the network and the all-new ESPN app.
You look around the league, Clemson had a nice win today. Wake Forest pulled one out the other night. The league is so much better, and that's good for everybody. That's good for Duke. It's good for every team in the league because you're going to get more teams in the tournament, and you're going to get, like Duke is going to get better competition all year long in the league, which is going to help them when it comes time for the tournament.
We are 9-10 days away from the ACC SEC Challenge, an event that did not go well for the Atlantic Coast Conference last year, to put it mildly. From a perception standpoint, big picture, how important is the challenge 9-10 days from now?
Well, it's important. You don't want to do what happened last year. I mean, that's something you don't want. But SEC is very good. It'll be good. It'll be a good competition, no question about it.
What hands?
He's really, when he's in there, he's a hard guy to handle.
But particularly for this Howard team, they just don't have the size.
No, they have no chance. But they're trying. They're doing everything they can. It's just a game. They're playing for a lot of different reasons, and they're doing everything they can. But it's not going to be a game they have a chance to win.
26-10 for Boozer. This is Caden, his twin brother. Caden doesn't have a field goal today, only 1 point. He'll look to add to his offense when we come back. 7:25 to go. Duke leading 85-39, 7:25 to play. Evan Lepler, Dan Bonner, Jim Boeheim back with you from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. Gentlemen, there was a question I was curious to ask you. Jay Williams last week said that Cam Boozer might be Duke's most skilled big man ever. He called him a mix of Tim Duncan and Al Horford.
Well, let's not get quite out over there right now. I mean, I don't know, unless you're not counting Grant Hill. But he's a really good player, and he's just getting into his freshman year. He certainly does a lot of things well, and he's going to be mentioned in the category of a lot of those guys. But we need a little reset, a little time.
Still game 7.
Yeah.
Bryce Harris playing with 4 fouls. Navigates to the rim but can't finish. Pass to Evans. And he's bumped.
And Evans last year pulls the trigger out there from 3, and that shows you his development as a player, that he lets the guy run by and tries to go to the basket. Now he's going to get himself to the free throw line. You know, the other thing we were talking about, Evan, was the fact that, you know, the ACC has improved, and so they have a chance to get more teams in the tournament. Well, the MEAC is going to get 1.
Yeah.
And that's Howard. Howard obviously wants to play very well. They're playing in this game so they can get better for the MEAC. When it comes right down to it, the only games that Howard has to win are those in the MEAC tournament. I think maybe Boozer's done for the day. He's left gone to the bench.
26 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists for Boozer, 10 of 12 shooting. By the way, tomorrow night's ACC Network featured women's basketball matchup. Hannah Hidalgo, who's the nation's leading scorer, number 24 Notre Dame, hosting Central Michigan, 9 o'clock Eastern on ACC Network, also available on the ESPN app. 2 free throws for Evans. And we'll see if he is indeed done for the day as well. 11 points for Isaiah.
But Jim, here's a lineup combination we haven't seen in 2 games.
Well, I think they're just trying to get to the finish line now. They've gotten about all they're going to get out of this game, and I think they're going to just try to get to the finish line right now. They've done a great job, but you know, when you're up 50, it's hard. It's really it's hard to watch. It's hard to coach sometimes. But to Howard's credit, they're still out there. They're still going after it. They're still playing hard, and that's a great thing.
Amenya, you could call him the center in this lineup. Can't connect from 3. Sarr and Amenya both 6'8", tallest Duke guys on the floor right now. To shoot for Harris, and he's shoved, according to Clarence Armstrong, by Caden Boozer.
Harris has been very aggressive. He got himself in foul trouble, but he gets a little lane, and he's just strong enough. At 220 pounds, he's forcing his way through there.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to develop his game, and again, that's part of a college experience. He's going to get better. He's going to learn how to do that stuff. And when you can really shoot it, that's a good place to start. If you can really shoot it, now you can learn how to dribble the ball. You can learn how to get to the basket. When you can't shoot, it's not easy to learn how to shoot. But he's got that talent, and he's going to be a good player.
First team All-League 2 years ago, won the tournament title. Preseason player of the year last year. He got hurt, only played 7 games. Back with big ambitions, trying to win his 3rd title in 4 years this season.
Very good play.
Howard's still getting after it defensively.
Boozer to the corner. Sarr turns it over.
Sarr's the one guy in the 2 games that kind of looks like he's trying to figure things out over here. I don't think he's got it figured out yet. He's a very talented player.
He's got 8 rebounds, 6 points in this game, but I hear what you're saying and agree. He's not clicking on all cylinders right now. Just scratching the surface of his potential. Good drive. Boozer beaten by B.J. Powell.
And right now, without the 3 big guys in the game, you've got no basket protection. You didn't see that happen when the big guys are in the game.
B.J. Powell from Charlotte. Bucket he'll remember. Powell's only played sparingly. 12 minutes all season coming into today. Did not play yesterday against Niagara. Harris trying to bully Caden, and Caden says, give me that.
The thing with Duke on offense, too, they're not as fluid, even though they have smaller guys out there, because the offense going.
Going to be a push on Sarr before the ball was inbounded.
You know, you have two veteran officials, and the guy that made that call is kind of working his way into the league. I think he's only blown his whistle twice tonight. He's trying to, he's on the veteran guys. He kind of had to call that one because he got knocked down.
That's something that a coach of almost 5 decades would notice.
You kind of see those things sometimes. I once asked a guy if his whistle worked. He didn't like that.
I wouldn't think so.
No. But, you know,
I can't imagine why.
you try to, you know, inject a little humor in it. At the time I asked him that, we were ahead a lot, so I knew it wasn't going to be a damaging question.
Well, you could write a book about all the conversations you've had with officials through the years.
A lot of them. None of them ever helped me. Right here on this court, Ron Grover, who's probably the best ref in the country, in a Duke game, tight game, asked me when I questioned his call. He said, "Now, Coach, do you think I got in my car today, drove up here 2.5 hours, got dressed, came out here just to give you a bad call?" And I said, "Ron, that's the best I've ever heard. I'm dumbfounded. I have no comment left."
All right, young referees out there watching, take notice.
And he's really, really good ref.
Yeah.
And we won that game, too. Not that I think the story helped.
Travell Bryson at the line. Transfer from Vincennes.
Well, they really expect big things from him, and I thought the game yesterday for Bryson, where he had 15 points against Niagara, I think the folks from Howard are hoping that that sort of jump starts what he's doing. He's made 2 threes today.
Good defense, the steal. Okoji kicks it.
There's just never anybody open when you get there. There's just somebody covering.
Under 4 minutes we go. It's been a pretty good battle between Caden Boozer and Bryce Harris. Foster went for the steal, didn't get it, and pays the price. B.J. Powell buries the 3 from the corner.
That's a couple of those for him.
That's a piece of tape you'll show the team. Don't gamble. Every time you gamble, somebody's open someplace, and you don't want that there. And they're not used to that. It's going to affect how you play.
Well, Ufachuku is in the game now, so at 6'11", they got a big guy back out on the court.
That was masterfully pronounced, Dan. Well done. Harris to the corner. This is Jack Scott out there as well. Caden cross court. Sets up Cameron Sheffield, who's out there too, and he knocks down the jumper.
Duke doesn't have any bad players on their team, even if they're down at 11 or 12.
Sheffield. Halfway down and pop back out. Bryson straightaway 3. And Kenny Blakeney is going to take a timeout with 2 for this game.
Oh,
so they got St. Mary's and they got Mount St. Mary's. Their next 2.
St. Mary's of California.
No. Mary Washington is also not on their schedule of Virginia.
Or William and Mary.
They play William and Mary in a preseason game and beat them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good win.
Well, one of the guys that they're excited to get back is Cedric Taylor. Transfer from Morehouse College in Atlanta. They believe that with Bryce Harris and Cedric Taylor, they've got the 2 best players in the MEAC. And Taylor broke his hand in practice 3 days before the season opener. They're hopeful to get him back mid-December. Boozer. I beg your pardon, that's Harris.
Well, that's the biggest thing about this game. This is just a block, and it's over, and you go home and you try to win your conference because that's all that matters. One bit.
And a moving screen called on Calvin Robbins Jr. I know this is no concern to the two of you, but this is very suspenseful for some folks out there watching right now.
Why is that?
We're not talking about that. I don't think we
One
should.
of you just asked me to elaborate, and the other told me to shut up.
Well, we're talking margins here, and we're not doing that.
I'll just say 43.5 is the number that some folks might be concerned about.
Trust me, these three officials are trying to get out of here more than anybody else. They're not going to call unless it's a...
You're right. A lot of contact. Play on.
Blood has to be drawn.
Or if the ball goes out of bounds, you got to blow the whistle.
They have to. They're trying to get it down to the end.
Hey, Jim, is it hard? I know Duke's really good, but 2 games like this, and then you got Arkansas on Thursday. Is it an adjustment to match up with the Razorbacks in the first 4 minutes after these 2 games?
You think about it as a coach. Coaches worry about stuff like that. But Duke has played well. So it's not like they didn't play well and won. They played well, so that should carry over into the next game, even though it's a 50-point game here.
And I'm sure John Shire, remembers they did not start the games against Texas or Kansas particularly well.
Right. That's a point he made, and they did start well in both these games, so he can use that.
You've got a reach-in foul on Ifeanyi Ufechukwu.
They didn't start well in any of their games prior to the Niagara game, and that was one of their points of emphasis, is they wanted to make sure they started well. But Jim, coaches worry about everything.
Everything. That's what we do. That's what you have to do. Because if you didn't worry about it, something happened, and then you're mad at yourself. As much as the fans think they care more than we do, they don't. They don't care more than we do.
Well, Julian Johnson makes that free throw. The fans really cared about the free sandwiches they were going to get if he missed both of them. So Julian Johnson, who went to Providence Day in Charlotte, destroys the dreams of the crowd there. More free throws coming with 43 seconds left. Duke's next home game a week from Tuesday against the Florida Gators in the ACC-SEC Challenge.
And that's going to be a heck of a basketball game. That Florida team is really good.
They've got size. They've got size to contend with Duke inside. And they obviously have experienced players in the perimeter as well. This really, really good Florida team. I was surprised earlier in the year Florida State took them right to the wire. Yeah. And, Florida State was picked way down in the ACC.
Well, if not for a couple rough minutes in April last year, Duke, Florida would have been the national title game.
Yeah, 100%.
John Shire talking about it preseason, said you just want to be in the mix. You want to give yourself a chance. In March and April, he feels that they've done that every year he's been in charge, and they'll certainly be in the mix again.
They're going to be in the mix, and the problem is there's 16 teams minimum when you get to the Sweet 16 that are going to be teams that you can lose to. That's how deep college basketball is this year, with all the guys staying, the great freshman class, the internationals. College basketball is really good right now, really good, and the tournament is going to be really good. And when you're one of the good teams, it's not that easy once you get to those 16. It's going to be really hard.
Jim, I would argue that it's even before the 16.
Yeah, no, you're right. 32, I think.
If you're a #1 seed, you win that first game. The next team you play is an 8-9, and they're really good.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing going to be easy in that tournament.
I know you're probably most proud of the national championship, but going from the first 4 to the final 4 has to be on your short list of great accomplishments too.
That was fun to do. But trust me, anytime you win in the tournament and you advance, it's fun to do. That's what you think about. And when you don't advance, it's not good.
No sandwiches for the crazies. Well, they can get sandwiches, they're just got to pay for them.
I say nobody's going to starve them.
The Duke Blue Devils are 7-0. 93-56. They finish off Howard by 37. For Jim Boeheim and Dan Bond.